All right, great. Sunday morning. I hope you're doing well. Cesar Mascoro Jr. with Manufacturing Home Sales Mastery and with our 15 minutes to mastery that we do each and every day to get you some information, inspiration, motivation so that you can go out and do great things. Welcome to our Sunday Recharge Edition. I'm coming to you live from the home office, episode number 534, Sunday Recharge. And today we want to talk about mastering sales, what it takes to truly master sales, how to reflect on this, because as we go about doing more and more training classes, it just becomes more and more evident to me that we as adults, we come into a profession. A lot of us come into a profession. Okay, and back up. A lot of you now at this point come into a profession and you feel like you've committed. Maybe they give you some sort of training, maybe you don't get any sort of training, but you kind of find your way around it. And once you're comfortable with it, you feel that that's it, you're there, you've arrived. And that's why I want to talk to you about that very one thing, because you're fooling yourself if you think that we're ever going to master sales. That includes me. I'm fooling myself if I ever think that I know it all, have learned it all, and all of whatever it may be when it comes to manufactured home sales or sales in general. Libby Sauls has a great quote. Check this out. No one can ever master sales. It's a philosophy. There's always more to learn, different perspectives to understand. Top salespeople are insatiable when it comes to learning. I love that word, insatiable, never satisfied, always wanting more. Being insatiable is a great trait to have in life. This, it's when you stop to think about it, it's so very true, right? Sales is a philosophy. It's a way of being. It's a way of thinking, and it's something that always evolves. It moves. It changes. Product changes. In our industry, financing changes. There's so many changes that occur throughout the whole every single day that it's never just plain and simple, black and white. And that's why you're fooling yourself if you think you ever are going to master sales. So with that in mind, I wanted to talk to you about that this morning. I'd like to take Sunday to really stop and think about what went well this past week, what didn't, what do we need to double down on, what needs to be improved. And when you do that more and more often for yourself, when you can operate that manner, and Sunday, take Sunday and get some things done, but at the same time also uh, figure out what can be and should be improved, or what needs to be acted on even more because it really worked out. Right now, I want you to stop and think about sales. Whoever you may be, I see that Duncan's on here, man. Hope you guys are doing well out there in Florida. Going to be in Orlando for MHI. If you're going to be out there, let me know, man. Be glad. I would be glad to be able to be there with you. But look, check this out. Okay. When you think of sales as a philosophy, a way of thinking, a way of operating, then you'll understand that things always change. And like I mentioned, as the more and more classes that we do, the more and more I realize that folks will get to a point in their career that they think they've mastered everything, that they just can go about doing the same thing every single day, and they're just going to accomplish what they're after. And then you have moments like what we're going through right now. You have uncertain times. You have economic stresses. You have things like interest rates that have affected this industry in particular, right? Or the housing industry, I should say. You have price increases, supply shortages, everything that is getting thrown at people, at the public, and at you in sales. And then you're not adjusting to it. We don't take the time to slow down and really prepare for it. We as leaders don't take the time to really prepare our teams. We know what they should be doing. We know what they maybe should be working on, and maybe we mention it to them, but we don't bring them a plan. We don't provide them the steps to go by. And I was having a conversation about this just this morning with regards to some people. I mean, most people are great people, right? Most people want to do well. But some people just need to be fed the information. Here is what you need to learn. Here is what you need to improve on. And then there's others who just take it upon themselves. They're always learning, always improving. They're reading, they're constantly feeding themselves information. They're looking beyond, they're looking around the corner at what's coming, right? And they're always pushing themselves outside of their comfort zone, outside of their limits, to continue to bring new ideas. And I was one of these people years ago. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I was one of these people that I used to wonder to myself, hey, why would anyone want to change anything, right? In other words, if it's working, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I get it. It to a certain extent that is true. However, what I've also learned is this, especially over the last 5 to 10 years, those people that are always testing new things are the ones that move further ahead. The ones that may think outside the box and say, hey, let's try this right now and see what happens with this. And then there's those people, but this is what's working. Yes, don't give up on that, but let's try this. Let's change that. Let's bring this new idea to the forefront. Those folks are the ones that always seem to just not only be ahead, but those are the folks that always seem to be succeeding at a much higher level. Why? Why do they succeed at a much higher level? Because they fail at a much higher level. See, so many of us are afraid to fail. So many of us are afraid to push ourselves. So many of us are afraid to try something new, whether it's food, whether it's activities, whether it's whatever it may be. If you're that type of person who is afraid to try new things, you're always going to be left behind. You may think you're living a great life, and you probably are. I'm not saying you're not. But here's the thing. You're missing out on what you don't know. You're missing out on what could be. But my life is great right here. I'm good. I'm comfortable. And yes, that comfort actually keeps you uncomfortable. That comfort keeps you uncomfortable because when you don't realize what you're missing out on, when you don't realize just how great that food tastes, when you don't realize just how fun that activity, when you don't realize just how much you stand to gain from the pain that comes from failing, you're actually more uncomfortable than what you should be. You see, you could have accomplished so much more. You could be doing so much more. You could be helping so many more people. And you could have that bigger sense of fulfillment within you, for you, all simply because you realize that, just like the quote said, you have to be insatiable. You see, you only get the one life. Gary Vee talks about this all the time, right? We only have this one life, man. You don't get another one. You don't get another chance. I know that there's people out there who think you come back, you got you reincarnated and things. Look, you've got the one life. You are you, and that's it. Me, right now, Cesar Mascoro Jr., until I breathe this last breath, this is the last version of me. So I might as well go after it. I might as well be insatiable. I might as well learn everything I can. I might as well consume myself in everything that I possibly can and stay laser focused and continue to grow and push and move forward, because that is what's not only going to help me, but it's going to help you. It's going to help your team. It's going to help everyone that we deal with. And that, my friends, is what life is about. You see, this wristband that we give all our people that go through our classes, okay? The blue one says manufactured to win. You know that I have a podcast called Manufactured to Win. I strongly believe that we were all made to win. I believe that God created us in a manner that we were supposed to take over the world, fill the world, rule it, dominate it, and live forever. Right? That was my belief. I'm not giving you a religious sermon, but I'm telling you my belief, my spiritual belief. And because of that, I believe we were all made to win. We were all manufactured to win. And because of that, we were all made to continue to press and push forward. We were all made to continue to grow and do more, learn more, be more. And we were all made to inspire everyone around us, lead everyone around us to do more, be more, learn more. And that means that never ends. That's why part of our programs, okay, part of our programs include the philosophy of Kaizen. I'm glad that Lee Salz in that quote that I read to you this morning. I'll bring it back up. Let me show you the one I'm talking about. Check this out. Let me go here. There it is. No one can ever master sales. It's a philosophy. It's a philosophy, right? There's always more to learn, different perspectives to understand. And we at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery operate on the philosophy of Kaizen. Those of you that have been through our program, you've been through it. You've heard us speak of it. We talk about it in the class. Kaizen, the Japanese philosophy of constant improvement, always learning, constant learning. Change is good because that's what life's about. Life is about doing as much as we possibly can for ourselves and for those around us, those that we have influence over. And here's the great thing about it, right? You may not realize this, but somebody that came in contact with you at some point in time may have benefited from your inspiration, your leadership, even the one word you shared with them at one point in time in their life. Maybe they worked with you. Maybe they were in a group that was you were part of, and you were speaking, saying some things, and they may hear this one thing that resonates with them. And you don't even realize just how much of an impact that makes on the rest of their life. We have a huge responsibility, not just in manufactured home sales, but in life. We have a huge responsibility to continue to do as much as we possibly can. And that's why today, this Sunday, I'm coming to you with this message. I'm coming to you with the message of continue to learn, continue to grow, continue to push yourself. And here's the thing. Understand this one thing that I'm about to say. A lot of it, the majority of it, is going to end up in failure. And that's okay. That's okay. The majority of things you try, the majority of things that you learn, you'll forget. We forget more than what we keep. Think about that, okay? The majority of it is going to end up in some form or fashion as a failure, as a loss. But because you've lost so many more times than those around you, you actually win at a bigger rate, at a much bigger rate than those who play it safe, are complacent, they settle, they're comfortable. Don't be comfortable. I read an article today, as a matter of fact, this morning before I headed to the gym. I read an article from Bedros Keuilian, and in it he's talking about the paranoia that he has as a business owner, and it's a healthy paranoia. And I have the same paranoia when I was reading it. You know, I've spoken about it to my team before, and I've spoken to some of you about it as well. But I push as hard as I do. I expect as much as I do of myself and of my team. Because any single day, at any single moment, today, the 27th of April, it could all go away. It could all fall apart. There could be somebody comes and just blows the doors off of what we're doing and completely takes over. You have to operate in that manner with that healthy paranoia that you never know when is that day. I never know when I lay my head to rest at night, will I wake up the next morning? You don't know. And I don't say that in a well, that's pretty depressing kind of way. I'm telling you in a matter of fact. You have to be aware of that. And so whether you own a business or whether you're working for a company or whatever it is that you're doing, you should operate with that paranoia that somebody's trying to take your lunch. So you've got to stay on top of your game. You have to operate with the mentality that you're never going to learn everything that you need to learn. You have to operate, you have to have the philosophy of Kaizen, of always improving, getting better, and you have to push yourself to fail as much as you possibly can in life. Fail and fail and fail again, because in those failures you're going to have a win, and then you fail some more and you fail some more and you'll have another win, and then you're going to fail some more and you're going to fail some more and you're going to have another win. It's the same thing with business, right? It's the same thing with sales. You're out there, you're talking to people, and it's a failure after failure after failure. They don't come in, they don't answer, they don't get approved. It's fail, 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 and then I get a sale. It's fail, 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 and I get another sale, and then maybe I get a couple of wins in a row, and then I fail some more, and then I lose some deals, and then my pipeline falls apart. But I'm failing and failing and failing and failing. But the more I fail, the more I win, and I am passing everybody else by that is just trying to not fail. Those people that don't push themselves outside of their limits, those people that stay comfortable, those people that think they've arrived and, well, I'm already an adult, and why do I have to continue to learn? What do you mean I have to go through a training class? What do you mean we have to have a culture of training where we're learning every day? What do you mean that way? We don't have time to be learning every day. You don't have time not to be learning every day. That's how you need to be thinking about it. You and your teams do not have time not to be training every day, to not be learning every day, to not be improving every day. Because every single day you skip the opportunity to even spend 15, 20, 30 minutes learning something as a group together, you inspiring them. Every single day you pass up on the opportunity is a compounding effect of failures, but not in a good way. Not in the way that leads to more wins, but in failure that sends you backwards. And Abraham Lincoln was one that said, I may not move fast, but I never go backwards. And when you stay in the same place because you think that you've arrived, because I went through 2 weeks of training, or I went through some training at my company, and I started selling, and I sell houses, and I do 3 or 4 a month or whatever it is that you're doing, and I'm good. And why do I have to learn? I know what I have to learn. But those people that stay where they're at keep getting passed by people like me, by people like you that are always pushing, by people that we train with, that we inspire, that change the way that they think and the way that they operate with urgency and continuing to grow and continue to improve. I'll give you this example. We always reach the point in every single training class where we start talking about feature benefit training. All right. Whether it was this past week, or any of the classes that we've done in the past, or when we're doing training online, whatever it is, we'll get to the point where we're doing feature benefit training. And I'll ask, okay, what's your favorite feature? And it never fails. The majority, if not all the people that are in that class, they can point out some things, right? Oh, well, we've got the windows and we've got the energy, the basic stuff, right? But it's not in a manner that they know the product. They can't describe the windows in a way that shows competence, confidence, professionalism, and a true understanding of that window and the benefit of it. They just say they look nice, right? The lighting, the crown molding, the basics. And that right then and there should be, even in and of itself, if it was nothing to do about marketing, if it was nothing to do about how to handle phone calls, if it was nothing to do about the actual sales process, if you just stop to look, and let's start with feature benefits. Let's start with, what are the features of the house? How were they built? What's the benefit to it? How do we build value in our homes and in our product? If you started there, you would see that there is massive amount of information that needs to be learned and trained on with intention. And that growth, when you can take your team to that point, where you can take yourself to that point, and you get that growth, you get that confidence, you get that about you, you'll start to realize then that, man, one, I do have to learn a lot. And two, this learning thing's pretty cool. Even this morning, we were talking about breakfast, right? And our 11-year-old is down in the kitchen. We're talking about it. And And I said, hey, well, I mean, my wife was talking about how breakfast is the most important meal of the day, things of that nature, right? And I told him, well, I mean, it's just logical, right? I mean, you're breaking your fast. That's why it's called breakfast. It's not breakfast, it's breakfast, break fast, really, right? You're breaking the fast of the night before, your 8, 10 hours, or however many hours it's been since you ate. You're breaking that fast when with this meal. And they're like, oh, wow, I never really thought about that, right? So we're always learning things, is all I'm trying to get across to you. Always learning, always improving, always growing. If you go through life like that, man, I'm 52 and I feel like I'm 20 something. Although my knee's not there, but I will tell you, it keeps you young, it keeps you confident, it keeps you competent. You operate at a different level, you succeed at a different level. And that's what it's all about. You being able to do more, learn more, be more, and accomplish more. So if you go through this Sunday, I want you to really stop and think about that. Look, you're never going to master sales. And I'll let you in on a secret. That's a good thing. It's a good thing because you will always stay learning and you will always stay young and you will always dominate in life. You will make life happen for you and not to you. And that's what we want for you here at Manufactured Home Sales Master. We're here to help take your life, not just your business and your career, but your life. We start with your life. We want to help take your life, your business, and your career to a whole new level. That next level that's on this gold wristband. We want you to go next level every time because there is always another level. Friends, we're going to be in MHI in Orlando. If you're going to be in Orlando, please reach out to us. Let us know. We'd love to meet with you while we're out there. We'd love to sit down and just chit chat. Hey, man, I'd love to have you come on our Manufacture to Win Live. We're going to be set up there with our booth. We're going to have our mics. We're going to have Jackson there filming. We're going to be going live from there. If you're going to be there, I'd love to sit with you and interview and spend some time with you. Let's get it done. So if you're going to be there, remember it's May 5th through the 7th. I think the actual days of the show are 6th and 7th, Tuesday and Wednesday, but we will be there actually starting end of next week. So if you're going to be out there, man, we'd love to meet you and hang out. Maybe we can break bread. We can get to know each other. It's always fantastic meeting new people within the industry. At the same time, I also want to let you know of a couple of other things. Okay. One, we're launching a brand new program at MHI Ag Congress and Expo that I'm super excited about. Everybody's put a ton of work into this thing. We're up against the gun. I'm hoping we're going to be able to launch it right there. We're at least going to let you know about it. We're going to let you know about it if they were able to flip the switch on in time where we have it up and running. I'm excited. I'm super excited about that. But at the same time, I also want to let you know that we are always innovating and bringing new things to you. Don't forget the Shift comes out tomorrow. Shift, SHIFT. That's our weekly quote unquote newsletter that we put out every single week, where you get a whole bunch of information on the industry and ourselves, on the company, and other people around the industry doing great things. So take a look out for that. It's all across our social media. I'm also going to be transitioning the 15 Minutes to Mastery to our business platforms now. Okay. Mainly, I'm talking about LinkedIn. For those of you that watch this on LinkedIn, on my personal profile, I'm going to be switching it over to the Manufactured Home Sales Mastery page. It'll still be coming on my personal and business Facebook page, but we just added our Manufactured Home Sales Mastery Facebook page, and I'm going to transition the Instagram from my personal Instagram to the business Instagram. Because after 2 years, man, as you all know, may know, or if you haven't, April 24th was our April 24th was our 2-year anniversary. And the first 2 years, I just head down building this thing. Everything was about what can I do? How can I do it to be able to get the word out? And so everything was in my name, branding my name, because it was more, okay, this guy's been in the industry for a long time, so maybe we should listen to him. And now we've established Manufactured Home Sales Mastery over the last 2 years. And so I think it's time to take the training wheels off. And we're going to run full-fledged Manufactured Home Sales Mastery. Still be building personal brands, still be doing things on my own, just like Marissa's doing things for herself with empowering women and the Built to Lead. We're building personalities, we're building people, we're building companies. But at the same time, we're building you up. And so we're going to take it over to those platforms, but you'll be able to see it wherever you'd like to watch it. It's going to be everywhere. Okay. And then the other thing as well is, you know, we're building our team. We just added somebody new to the team this week. I'm excited about it. This is our fifth person. We got 5 people now. Like, wow. It's a real, like, and they're not family members. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, like I'm not bringing in my brother or something. I'm actually hiring somebody. Like, this little business is developing into something tangible, real, and just continuing to grow. And I'm super excited about it. And I'm blessed to be able to do it by the grace of God and the support of my family. My wife's been great, especially over the last couple of months, as she's been getting more and more involved, and then our kids are going to be more and more involved. And we're continuing to grow it all for you. And really, I'll be honest with you, it's not even for you. Okay. You benefit from it. But our mission in Manufacturer and Home Sales Mastery, in case you weren't aware, is to be able to help as many people out there across the country to become homeowners through you. The more empowered housing consultant, the more empowered community manager, the more professional sales consultant out there across the country who operates at a different level because they've worked with us. And that's what we're about. That's what we're doing. And believe me, this is just the start. We're 2 years in, and the movement is just happening. And we're glad to be a part of it with you. So thank you very much for that. I hope you have a great Sunday. I hope that you guys can go out and do some great things today. Take some time to analyze what went well last week, what didn't. Plan out your week for the coming week. Every single day of the week, plan out as much of it as you can based on whatever appointments you've got, learning you've got to do, calls you have to be on, everything. Plan it out. Run your day. Don't let your day run you. And just watch how much different things will be. It's going to be awkward at first. It's going to be uncomfortable, but then it just starts to work out for you. It's been what's been the magic plan for us so far, and that's why we're bringing it to you as well. So go out and do that. Listen, I got some work to get done before we head out to church here a little bit later. So you guys enjoy your Sunday. We'll be talking soon. And as always, my friends, I can't wait to meet you.